This is Online Pass, the weekly video game news quiz show. My name is Cyril Lachel, and I'm going to ask you a series of questions based on some of the biggest news stories from the past week. It's your job to answer each question correctly, so grab a piece of paper and a number 2 pencil, because this is a test. Question 1. This week, USA Today accidentally leaked exciting information that a hugely influential rock band would be making their rhythm game debut on October 6th. What chart-topping Irish group will have 2 songs in Rock Band 4? Question 2. After seeing the success of Xbox Live, PS Plus, Netflix, Hulu, Loot Crate, and dozens of other subscription services, this week, Humble Bundle and GeForce announced their own separate paid membership programs. These subscriptions will give players access to free games, steep discounts, and more. How much will it cost you per month to subscribe to both Humble Bundle and GeForce? Question 3. This was not a good week for the retro VGS. The Atari Jaguar-shaped console trying to bring back expensive game cartridges. After only 10 days, co-founder and president Mike Kennedy announced they were ditching their Indiegogo campaign. How much was raised in the 10 days of crowdfunding? Question 4. After a year on store shelves, Project Spark has switched from free-to-play to a completely free model. Recent owners will be refunded, and the game will shift its focus to community-created worlds. What new metal rock band decided to use Project Spark to create their music video in 2014? Question 5. Critics were not impressed with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. After years of waiting, critics complained that the core game lacked content, was buggy, and not polished. With all these problems, why did Activision decide to rush the game out before the end of 2015? And now, the throwback round, where I pull questions from classic game magazines. Brace yourself, the next corner's rough. In the October issue of Next Generation, the magazine detailed the debut of the 3DO's M2 board. This 64-bit super system was ready to take on the PlayStation, Saturn, and Nintendo 64, but never saw the light of day. How much did Matsushita pay for the M2 technology? Okay, put your pencils down, everybody. The quiz is over. Let's see how you did. When Harmonix finalized the soundtrack last month, many concluded Rock Band 4 would only feature 60 songs. But this turned out to not be the case, and the news came from a very unexpected source. On late Sunday night, USA Today unloaded a mysterious video that seemed to confirm not 1, but 2 songs from longtime video game holdout U2. The video was quickly taken down, but not before news got out about the Irish band's rhythm game debut. One day later, Harmonix trumpeted this get with a press release that announced the final soundtrack would contain 62 songs. Proving that every company will eventually adopt a subscription service, both GeForce and Humble Bundle announced their own membership programs. Humble Monthly will cost $12 a month and promises to send games directly to your inbox. On the other hand, GeForce Now is $8 and offers a large range of games to play over the course of the month. GeForce's option sounds more like the Netflix approach, giving players over 50 games, including Ultra Street Fighter 4 and most of the recent Batman entries. If you were to subscribe to both, it would cost you a total of $21. Crowdfunding can be tricky. Just ask Retro VGS co-founder Mike Kennedy. His pitch involved a cartridge-based console that played indie games and never had to be updated. He was asking for nearly $2 million to make his $300 console a reality. But things did not go as planned, and Mike's enthusiasm for the project was met with criticism from all sides. Many in the press viewed it as a big step backwards. while the retro gaming community rebelled against the price and tactics used in the pitch. After only 10 days, the retro VGS managed to raise only $63,796. With the writing on the wall, Mike announced that he would pull the plug. As of this report, the Indiegogo campaign is still active, though the grand total now is at $44,833 and dropping. When Project Spark hit store shelves last year, it failed to drum up the user-created excitement Microsoft was hoping for. This week we learned that the game would adopt a completely free model, hoping the community would help to keep the vision alive. For their part, nu metal group Linkin Park used Project Spark to create their music video for Guilty All the Same. In fact, fans could even play through the Linkin Park level inside the game. That's pretty cool. But I think it's important to remember that Linkin Park is a roller coaster.
Linkin Park is a roller coaster. Linkin Park is a roller coaster. Linkin Park is a roller coaster. Linkin Park is a roller coaster. Linkin Park is a roller coaster.
After an 8-year hiatus, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater returned to decidedly negative reviews from both critics and longtime fans. The PlayStation 4 version is currently sitting at 36% on Metacritic, with most critics noting the poor optimization and bug-filled campaign. It turns out there may be a reason why Activision decided to rush out an unfinished product. Back in 2002, Tony Hawk signed an exclusive contract with the video game giant, allowing Activision to use his name and likeness through the end of 2015. In case you haven't looked at a calendar recently, 2015 is almost over, so this was the publisher's last shot at releasing a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater game without renegotiating the contract. This is not the way to say goodbye to a groundbreaking franchise. 20 years ago this month, Next Generation was drooling over the prospect of the M2. Originally proposed as an add-on chip for the 3DO, M2 eventually turned into its own console. The machine was on display at the 1996 Electronic Entertainment Expo, but was ultimately cancelled before hitting retail shelves. Thankfully, it wasn't a total loss. 4 Japanese arcade games used the M2 technology, and the survival horror game D was started on the system. It cost Matsushita $100 million to buy the technology. What a shame. Hey, thanks for watching this week's episode of Online Pass. Did you know that we post a new episode every Sunday? In fact, this is already our 11th quiz. So if you're just checking this out for the first time, I recommend you check out some of our past episodes. Also, let me know how you did in the comments below. We'll be back tomorrow with a review of Dengeki Bunko, Fighting Climax. So make sure and tune in for that. If you would, do me a favor and click the subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then.